And like, what really made you want to work with me out of everybody else?
Man, you have a drive that's different than most, and we just like were relatable. Like I think we're really related to you because you weren't that guy that came in and did 100,000 the first, like literally right out of the gate. Like I mean, you did an impressive 15,000. Like that's anybody you tell that to anybody, and people are like, you're a killer. But here's the thing: is that your transparency, your realness, and the David Goggins mindset that you're wanting to outwork every single person, and you're gonna do whatever it takes. And I think even just that you provide value without expectation of getting back. And you've given so much more to me than I could ever give to you. And I think just I decided to go work with you, man, because this dude, all right, shameless plug. This guy, like, there's no paid sponsorship, no paid advertising, but Mason, like, he's given me more, like, he's literally changed my life. Like, I wouldn't have been able to write 34,000 my first 30 days, over 60 grand my first 60 days. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do that if Mason wasn't there for me. And I thought he was very promising from the start. Like when we went out to Indianapolis, like paid for that ticket from the start and really just provided a ton of value at the start. But I think even before that, like he set a lot of expectations. He's like, we're going to build something huge together. And here's the powerful thing is that he's over delivered. I told him the other day, I was like, literally he's over delivered more than I could ever ask. And so like, dude, he just literally changed my life, helped me get to where I am today. I mean, dude, I just appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, man. Seriously, I couldn't have been here without you, man. And even when I got selected to be on the Ultimate Agent, man, and like literally seeing you cry, man, just because how happy you were.
You're making me cry right now.
Let's get lit with Mason VanMeter. Subscribe now.
What is up, guys? Mason VanMeter here. I got an absolute monster. You've been in the waiting room for a little bit. How are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. That intro, let me tell you, bro, that's fire. Holy cow.
You like
You got the guy that's like, let's get started or whatever. I'm like, dang, man, that's sweet. I see you.
No, absolutely, man. Got to give people the most value that I possibly can. So, who are you? Where are you from?
Yes, sir. My name is Johnny Nitafan. I live here in Phoenix, Arizona, the Mesa area, but born in California. You know, I like to say I'm a surf boy. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely not.
You got one of those stupid Salt Life stickers on your car?
Dude, definitely not. No. I love living by the beach, being by the beach, but you know, born in California, moved to New Mexico, grew up and basketball player at heart, just super competitive. Love what I just love competing against people, winning. And I just was super, I feel like God definitely gifted me in that way. And so I was able to definitely play basketball and that's what brought me out here to Arizona. And so after 3 weeks of being out here, getting ready to go play prep school and talking to some Division I coaches, I decided actually I'm not going to do that. And so I decided to start a clothing line and started more apparel. And so it was pretty much a clothing line that I just want to promote. Good vibes, good positivity. 18-year-old just wanted to take on the whole world. But quickly I did that to be able to learn basic principles of how to get the best ROI, how to be able to maximize what I'm selling, be able to create just interest in people really like buying into the brand. And so I learned a lot about that, but did that, went to school for a little bit, but I knew that you can buy skills by paying for it and paying for other people's mistakes. And so I was a firm believer in that. And so I pretty much stumbled upon the insurance industry after getting married. So that's how I got here, man.
And you're what, 21?
I just turned 21 about a month ago.
Yeah, yep. Okay. And Dude, you were an impressive 20-year-old when I first met you, man. Kind of took you under my wing. I remember kind of tell a short version of the story of actually how you met me.
Oh my gosh. All right. So Mason VanMeter, he got the scruffy huge beard at that point. He
Dude,
was on a podcast.
that thing was down to my shoulders at one point.
Dude. Yeah, and but here's the thing is that when so this is the story. So Mason and Cody Askins were on a podcast, and
Yeah, Cody's a
I
great dude.
remember, what was that?
Said Cody's a great dude.
Oh yeah, awesome. I love that dude. But it was funny because you guys were talking, and you were talking about your first day, and you were talking about how you lost your place in the script, and you're like, wait, let me find the place in the script. And the guy was like, are you seriously reading from a script? You're like, yeah. And he's like, click. So I remember that, and I was like, this dude is funny. I literally went to my wife and I was like, this dude, and then I played the video. But then I heard kind of what you did your first month, 15,000, second month 40,000, how you just had a very tenacious attitude. And I was like, dude, this dude he's real. He wasn't a killer from the start, but like he was able to turn it on quickly. And I'm like, I really like this dude. So I reached out, and I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I reached out on email, and I was like, nah, who knows? I don't know if he will answer or not. Called, I texted him. I was like, hey, I emailed you, and you called me and I didn't answer because I was so nervous.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, dude, there's no way this is really Mason. So I like didn't answer. And then I was like, okay, like take my breath a little bit, hold my composure. And then I was like, all right. So then I called you back and you didn't answer. I was like, bro, I was just like nervous, sweaty palms and all that. And I was like, shoot, dude, I don't know if he wants to talk to me anymore. So then you called me back again, and somehow I missed you. We were playing phone tag for a few minutes, talked to you, and I was like, I really like this, but it just wasn't the right fit. And that was in December. And then I was like, I want to do this life stuff, talk to a few people in Symmetry. And I went back to you. I was like, I'm ready. And you said one thing that was huge, dude. And you said, whose dreams are you building? Is it your own or someone else's? And I literally was like, bro, you got to ask me that. And he's like, you know the answer. You're like, you know the answer. But are you going to continue chasing your dreams, building yours or someone else's? And I was like, man. And I just had to sit with that. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And you're like, you know what decision you need to make? And I was like, dude. So then I ended up quitting like a couple of days later, and Mason helped me out with a flight literally the next week, met in Indianapolis, and the rest is history, man.
Yeah, we've built up quite a good relationship, man. So grateful to have you just in my life, and kind of I'm building this Running Buddies Academy thing up with you, and that's pretty cool to have like agents across the nation reaching out to me exclusively for help. And it's because I'm not just promoting some insurance specific, like it's life insurance specifically, not just insurance across. And that's where I think like the power of like the riches are in the niches. Trust me,
dude.
It's like
Huge.
You're an impressive 20-year-old when I met you, talking about ROI and investing and dreams and all that stuff. Like, out of all that, what made you choose to work with me? Just on a selfish note.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely,
because I know you name dropped a lot of other people in the past about who else you were wanting to work with, like Ashton, who else ever, and like what really made you want to work with me out of everybody else?
Man, I just you have a drive that's different than most, and we just like were relatable. Like I think we're really related to you because you weren't that guy that came in and did 100,000 like literally right out of the gate. Like, I mean, you did an impressive 15,000. Like that's anybody you tell that to anybody and people are like, you're a killer. But here's the thing is that your transparency, your realness, and the David Goggins mindset that you're wanting to outwork every single person, and you're going to do whatever it takes. And I think even just that you provide value without expectation of getting back. and you've given so much more to me than I could ever give to you. And I think just I decided to go work with you, man, because this dude, all right, shameless plug. This guy, like, there's no paid sponsorship, no paid advertising, but Mason, like, he's given me more, like, he's literally changed my life. Like, I wouldn't have been able to write 34,000 my first 30 days, over 60 grand my first 60 days. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do that if Mason wasn't there for me. And I thought he was very promising from the start. Like, when we went out to Indianapolis, like, paid for that ticket from the start and really just provided a ton of value at the start. But I think even before that, like, he set a lot of expectations. He's like, we're going to build something huge together. And here's the powerful thing, is that he's over delivered. I told him the other day, I was like, literally, he's over delivered more than I could ever ask. And so, like, dude, he just literally changed my life, helped me get to where I am today. I mean, dude, I just appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, man. Seriously, I couldn't have been here without you, man. And even when I got selected to be on the Ultimate Agent, man, and like, literally seeing you cry, man, just because how happy you were.
You're making me cry right now, damn it.
But dude, like, just how you, man, it's seriously, like, I didn't envision our relationship to get to where it is now. I'll just say that, like, become a best friend to me, 100%.
No, and I'm so proud of you, dude. I don't care what anybody else says about Johnny Nitafan. This kid's going to be a millionaire in the next 5 years. And I'll make sure personally that happens.
Appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you, man. And if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and do that. Johnny, have you made a YouTube channel or anything like that yet?
No. Oh, well, I'm about to. So you guys need to, when this drops, it'll be out there.
Yeah, by the time that drops, you can go ahead and send me your link and I'll put it in here before this drops.
Boom.
But yeah, you guys check the links below. Make sure you go follow this kid. Hungry, humble, and full of heart. Like, I love him to death. And guys, you're going to come across relationships where someone can do more for you in 2 weeks than anyone else has in 2 years. And that's what's cool to me, seeing what I've done in other people's lives like you, and seeing you write 30, 40K a month like that. I know I'm creating more change. And that's the beautiful thing about change, is you never know how far it's going to go. Like, I could have invented the next Steve Madden. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. I just know it's going to be incredible. And so I'm so grateful that our beautiful creator put you in my path, man, because I couldn't imagine doing life without you. So just know that the feeling's mutual and it's reciprocated 100-fold. So let's get to kind of the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you see as the biggest problem in the life insurance industry?
Dude, there's just, the life insurance industry as a whole lacks a lot of transparency. People sell the dream and sell that just to get what they want. And they don't want to give first. They don't want to sacrifice for other people. And I've seen that a lot, is just like, people want to have a lot, but they don't even give a lot to start. And they promise, there's a lot of promises that are broken. The people over promise and under deliver. And that's what like literally drew me into you so much, because you under promise and over deliver. But don't get it wrong, dude. Don't get it twisted that those promises are high, but compared to the delivery, that's what it's so attractive about just working together and working with you, is that's not a lot of people actually that are willing to admit their downfalls, admit their flaws, and be able to work through that. And so I like super admire that for sure. So I think that's like the biggest thing, is that people over promise and under deliver, bottom line.
Yeah, it's a huge recruit, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Every person that comes into the life insurance industry is recruited. I don't care what you say. You can recruit yourself into something. Someone's bringing you in.
Yeah.
So as far as that transparency piece, like, how has that affected you? Like, what has it done for you? Because you've told me that I've brought you transparency. So what does that kind of look like for you on a personal producer level?
That means that I'm when I wasn't running enough appointments and I was like, I want to write 10 grand this week, and I had 8 appointments on the table. You're like, dude, you need to see way more people. Like, and it's nothing bad. It's just like, dude, like, that's just the reality. And it was tough love. I knew where it was coming from. I knew really where I knew where your love was coming from, because it was out of a place of giving, and you wanted me to succeed, and you wanted me to succeed at a high level. But the thing is a lot of people, all they want is for you to succeed so that they're able to get rich. And I don't see that in you. And that's the biggest thing that I've seen. And just in general, like, that's what I'm trying to portray to other people, is like, I don't care if I make a dime on someone. Like, I just want to help people become the best people that they could be. Honestly, like, I want to see like rock stars come out. Like, I want people. The reason I started my podcast is because I know somewhere, literally last night, I like started crying because I was thinking about this. But it's because I know someone out there is in the position that I'm in, that wants to do something great, but doesn't have the energy, doesn't feel empowered to be able to make a change, to do something insane, do something powerful, do something big. They feel that. They feel like they want to, but they don't have they're not empowered, because they're taught these limiting beliefs that you can't do this. No, that's wrong. No, don't do this. Don't mess up. But I want to, like, I started my podcast. I want to do, like, have the platform that I have, because I know there's other people out there that want to make change in this world, that want to do huge things, but they don't feel empowered. And that's my job. I feel like God has called me to empower the youth, empower young people to don't pick up a drink, don't pick up a blunt. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Because you can build a huge thing when you're in your 20s that in your 30, 40, and 50-year-old self will thank you for later. You put 10 years down and work hard, you go after it, and you literally can live the life that you want to live. It's not about build up your 401k so you can hopefully retire on Social Security. It's not about that.
Going to be gone.
Bro, 100%, man. And so that's what I do, why I do what I do, because I know there's someone out there that's in my position that doesn't have the guidance, and that's what I'm here. That's what every single day, that's what drives me.
I can hear the conviction in your voice, and here's why I tell people, I don't care what script you're using. There are thousands of insurance scripts out there you can use to sell anything. 10% is the words you say. 90% of it is how you say it.
Yep.
Do you feel like if I just read Dave Chappelle's skit, it would be funny? No. I'm not a comic, but if I read it the same way he does, I could garner the similar response. And that's like, if any insurance agent's watching this, like, how you say something is 10 times more important than what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because you're selling someone on, like, look at religious people. They get told no all the time, but they're out there trying to save people's souls.
Yeah.
And that's why they have such a conviction in what they're selling, whether they know it or not. They're salespeople, 100% without a doubt.
Dude, I totally agree. Because I would go, what I used to do is I would go, and I still do sometimes, is like I would go out on ASU's campus and just go cold sharing, like literally just cold contact.
Because you believe in it. Because you believe in it.
100%. And I did a 1K challenge, share with 1,000 people in 1 week, in 5 days. So one of my friends did 1,000 exactly. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna beat him. So I did 1,120 something. And so I did that in 5 days. And I was like, bro, and I think that translates so much, because the thing that's so beautiful about this industry is that if you care for people genuinely, it'll come back. Like, goodwill compounds faster than anything else could.
Well, and where you were kind of going with that is conviction will correct your tone. Because you can trick or train yourself into kind of doing this or saying things. You can train your tonality, like, okay, pause here, add more emphasis on this word, or you can just trick yourself into loving the product. Like, how I know someone's convicted, like, okay, would you sell this to your mother? Like, well, yeah. And like that's the problem I see with people. Like, they'll come to me for training off a YouTube video, whatever the case is, and I'll just ask them one question, like, how good are the leads? Or how good is the script? How good are the appointments? And they're like, well, no, stop right there. I'm good. All right, there's your problem right there. Bring me a closer. Bring me a good salesperson. They're like, I can't get enough of this. Like, I'm about to send my mom and get her an insurance license so she can start working this. Like, that's conviction, and conviction will correct your tone.
Yeah, big time.
And so, what has been your kind of biggest obstacle to overcome in this industry?
Yeah, I would say the biggest obstacle that I've seen is honestly mindset. Like, mindset.
How'd you get over that? How'd you get over that mindset? Because we've had some pretty deep conversations.
Dude, nobody's gonna know those conversations that we've had. Like, sitting there an hour on the phone, literally, after I couldn't close somebody, and they literally get the I need to think about it, and I just want to cry on a Monday night, and I'm like, bro, this sucks, dude. Like, seriously, yep. Like, I need to pay bills, and I need to think about it. Like, what the heck? And like calling Mason and just being like, honestly, like, I feel so unequipped right now. Like, it sucks. It's hard. But I think having somebody that's going to point you in the right direction and speak life into you when you really need it, and when it's feels really challenging and you want to quit, you want to cry. Like, we've cried together, and it's like, that's what I think that comes with the transparency part, is we've been able to have those moments together that it's like, you're there to lift me up when I'm like sucking. And I think that's like been helpful, is having a mentor. I always talk about that. A number one thing you got to do in this industry is get a mentor that you can trust, and a mentor that's going to lead you in the right direction. And I was able to find that in Mason, is just by, I don't know, like, just when it was really sucky, dude, you picked me up.
And 100%. What did that, because we had some real conversations. I gave you some insights, and you found the answers yourself. Like, what did that training do for you? Like, what were the results of all those conversations we had early on? Because they led to some pretty remarkable weeks and months of production. Well, what kind of numbers have you put up?
Oh, dude, last week, 20 grand.
It's juicy.
So yeah, I mean, that's like, to end out the month, bro, I just was like, turned it on, cranked it up, bro. So it's like, those are the things that it's like, writing 60 grand in 60 days, dude. Like, that's like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, dude, everybody talks about the 100K in 100 days. I'm like, bro, I need to do 40 grand in the next 40 days, and I'll do that. Like, yeah. And that's like possible. And it's like literally in my first 100 days being able to do that. That's the crazy thing, is that it's like, I am accidentally going to do that. And then I'll be able to tell a story about how I accidentally did it. I mean, I know Hayden, I was listening to him, and he just kind of, at first he just kind of was like, okay. And then he was like, oh, dang, I hit it. And then same with Ashton, like, he's like, looked back and he's like, huh. And he ended up stuff like that, man. It's
that was the same thing I did with that Costa Rica trip that I won. It's like, dang, did I hit this?
And you did?
I think I did. Yeah. It was in my first 70 something days. Wrote all that, but I blew it up very quick. And then I spent every bit of money I could into personal development, because I think I'm my greatest tool. If there's any time to spend money, it's now.
Yeah.
What is $10,000 in your bank account going to do for you?
Nothing.
Yeah. Savers are losers. That's where people don't even realize that 0.5% of interest, you're actually losing, especially right now with how bad inflation is.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah. Not even to get into politics and stuff, but that 10 grand that you have in the bank is only going to be worth like 8,000 next month.
Oh,
the purchasing power of people's dollars are going down, and I'm getting exponential and quadratic returns on myself.
Exactly.
I went and learned neuro-linguistic programming, and I just did over $40,000 in sales in Running Buddies Academy's first month. Companies don't do that from the
Huge.
start.
Nope.
Yeah, and that's less than 10 people that I did that with. But they also got value, and they're blowing up, like their income's going through the roof. So I know what I'm doing is working. And so what would you say was the leading like contributor to your success? What has made, because you came from kind of selling supplements to like business to business, correct? You were selling to business owners. Now you're selling B2C.
Yep.
Just business to consumer for all you lingo people. So what would you say has led to most of your success in that kind of conversion? Because it's actually harder to sell to consumer than it is to business. They have a lot more money than the average.
Yeah.
person, so.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the reason I got out is because I wrote 30 grand
And
in
didn't
my
get paid
third
for it.
month. And I literally made like maybe like 2.5. I'm like, heck no, dude. Because I knew when I listened to your podcast, when I listened to other people in life insurance, I was like, they're writing 30 grand and taking home that same amount or even more. Like I couldn't fathom that. I was like, what in the world? And so I think that what was your original question?
Like what was it that made you the most successful in all these 20K weeks, 30K, 40K months? Like what has contributed the most to that success?
Yeah, I would say like constant massive action, constant correction, and being able to talk to you if I don't close something, call you, hey man, this is what happened, and you like really helping me out. That's why I say mentor. Having a mentor there like is bigger than anything that you could even ask, because you either pay for one or find someone that you can work with. And that's the thing is like I was able to find that in you. I mean, you could have easily charged me like 50 grand a month by doing what I was doing, because I'm like, dude, I'm literally creating a 6-figure income in my first like 9 months in the business. Like that's stupid money. Like people don't like that's unfathomable. People don't understand the opportunity that there is. But I think the biggest thing is being able to put my head down every single day and be like, hey, I need to get to work and I need to do this, because temporary gain, like temporary pain for infinite gain later. Like, and people want that instant gratification, that instant hit. People are on TikTok scrolling, and because
that dopamine, they got to get that dopamine, that like syndrome, that bing, bing, bing. No, I cannot stand that.
Yeah, but I knew that picking up the phone was going to be able to create a financial freedom that I never had before. And now I'm working virtually. Bailey and I traveled the past 6 weekends, 6 weeks, and just going different places, going to conferences, getting in the room with people, having limiting beliefs broken, going like we had 2 weddings back to back. We got another one in like 3 weeks. We're going to Hawaii. We're going to LA. Like we're just traveling. But the beautiful thing is that I literally can work, do the same thing, literally go on vacation the first night, write 5 grand, and then that pays for the whole vacation and chill for the next 5 days. That's the beautiful thing, man. People are like, oh, I don't want to pick up the phone. I don't want to cold call. I'm like, dude, this literally is good. This is your money machine. This thing makes you money. Like, why wouldn't you?
It's like a walking
how I look
ATM.
at it,
Just
man.
pull money out whenever you want.
Oh my gosh,
I love
it's like
it.
printing
Just tell
money,
people
dude.
to don't get off that phone until you get what you want.
Yep.
But just to touch back on that mentor piece, how important is having a mentor like a coach? Because here's the thing. You see all these life coaches and fitness coaches and underwater basket weaving coaches who help you do this under the ocean, under the sea. Like, and they give like people who can actually get results like a bad name. So what has been the importance of getting a coach? Because like, let me point out an example. When you were young, did your parents ever tell you to brush your teeth?
Yeah, all the time.
And you do it and you'd go sulk back to bed. And what they do the next night? They tell you to do what?
Go brush your teeth.
Are you an adult now?
Yeah.
Do you still brush your teeth?
Yep.
See, that external accountability turned into an internal habit.
Yeah.
And that's like exactly what I do for people in Running Buddies. So like, what has been the like most beneficial part to you, or what is the importance of having a coach to you?
Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor. Everybody does. Like it's a non-negotiable because you got to have that person that's one step ahead of you that you're really trying to chase because one, it creates humility in who you are. You got to have humility to be successful because what I was told a few months ago by making millions a year told me this one thing, and he said the worst part of success is a little bit. Because here's the thing is that people get such a big head when they get a little bit of success. I'm like, dude, your head is bigger than the success you've had. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like people, I don't know. It's just like I
Oh,
wrote
they
one
climbed the
application.
mountain. They made it to the top.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's the thing. You got this little wad of cash in your hand and you won't let it go to accept new blessings. Like you see little kids, right? They got that little bitty teddy bear and I've got this huge one behind my back. It's like coming over me and they're scared to give the little one away to get the huge one.
Yep.
And so that also brings me to the point, just touching on your mentor thing, like you're going to pay for a mentor or a coach, whether you know it or not. And that brings up the difference between price and cost. Yeah, like the price of running buddy, you're paying a pretty penny, but here's the thing. You're getting all this experience in a couple weeks because if not, it's going to take you years to make all the mistakes that I have and the people that I'm working with. Which one do you want to pay for? Like which one's worth more to you, time or money? I'd rather use money to buy my time back. And that's where people say time is money. And I would argue against that. I would say attention is money. Whoever has the most attention wins. Look at that stupid little thing, Mickey Mouse. Everybody and their uncle knows Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
It's attention. Attention generates money, and you can use that money. Money is just energy, and you just trade that for your time.
Yeah, totally.
Money is not security.
Yeah, 100%. Because what's cool is that you can invest so much money into yourself. And you say if you were to build something up, lose everything, you know that you can build that back because you're able to, you have the skills now.
Correct. You're not starting over. You're starting from experience.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like people ask me, well, you made over $100,000. Why'd you spend it on these stupid conferences? Like, first off, they weren't stupid. They were an investment into myself.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I would have never started Running Buddies Academy. I would have never started coaching people, helping them create six-figure incomes for them to create a seven-figure income for myself. Like if it's a win-win situation and it's not hurting anybody, I'm not stepping on the backs of anybody. If I help you get what you want, you're inevitably helping me get what I want. I'd say that's an even trade because I'm bringing you value. I'm helping you solve a problem that you were struggling with. And that's the most important part of finding a mentor. Do they know what you want and how to get it? Like, and that goes to efficacy and integrity because I love my mom to death. I love her to death. Would I ask her for investing advice? Nope. Even though she wants what's best for me, she doesn't know how to solve my problem.
Yep.
And that's the thing. I would rather find someone on a 10 out of 10 on integrity and 8 out of 10 on the know how to get there, like know how to do it. Because someone who's a 10 out of 10 on efficacy, they know all the loopholes and they know how to screw you. So if you're taking advice from someone who does not have what you want in life, guess what you're going to get? The things you don't want in life. And your goals end up becoming the sacrifices that you have to make. And people fail to realize that. So you can either go spend the next 12 years making those mistakes on your own, or you can just pay somebody what they're worth who's already solved their problem. Because here's the thing, you're going to get such a high perception of like your likelihood of achievement, like your perceived likelihood of success goes through the roof. They know how to solve your problems and they can remove constraints from your pipeline.
Yep.
Like I'm trying to treat this like a business, not as some just, I'm a 1099. I'm an independent contractor. That's what people act like. They act like they're business owners, but at the end of the day, if your business can't run with you without you there, it's not, you're self-employed. Let's just call it what it is. And that's where you want to make your company sellable. And that confuses people because like, I'll just use you for an example. Like Johnny, who do you want to build a business for?
Myself.
Okay. Do you want to sell it?
Yeah.
That's the right mindset to have because do you know why? If you were just trying to keep it to yourself, you're going to build things your way. If you build a sellable business, you're going to make sure what?
That it's profitable and that
you're going to make it as profitable as you can, and you can just decide to keep it. but you've already built a sellable business that runs on autopilot without you there.
Yep.
They say money can't grow on trees. I think that's bull crap. I know
It
plenty of
grows
people
in
who do
other
it.
people's pockets.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yep.
So you want to build a sellable business. If you want to keep it, that's completely up to you, but I'm building a sellable business.
Yeah. This isn't a charity event. And that's what's awesome is that, dude, I think that I really believe that your courses right now are they're not as much as you could charge. Like people are getting a discount.
My course is free. My course is free for any life insurance agent because I think one, information decreases in value over time. And two, this free training is literally better than any paid training out there. It's literally an A to Z on how to sell insurance and how to build your own business doing it.
Boom.
No one else has done it. Or it's like insurance agents, and that includes property and casualty, life and auto. I don't care what the Geico lizard's selling. But here's the thing. Who do you think is going to give you more attention and more value? Someone only specific on life insurance, or the Allstate guy who's selling every different type of insurance and just wants you to buy? Who do you think can deliver a better customer onboarding experience?
A life insurance specific guy.
Yeah. So that's the thing. All these people are doing just like insurance agents reach out to me. No. Like riches are in the niches. If you speak to everyone, no one listens.
Yep.
No one listens. And I would rather not sit out in the rain and eat my food at the same time. Sounds pretty stupid, right?
Yep.
So like that course is all done now. I'm just putting the final touches on it. But literally, like any life insurance agent specifically can go through it, and you'll learn how to sell annuities, IULs, final expense, mortgage protection. You're going to learn how to generate your own leads using automation and social media to also create your brand. Like it shows you how to structure your business and kind of put on the corporate veil so they don't come seize your house when you lie on an application. Like people make stupid mistakes here. We've had people take driver's licenses from dead people off Google and write like stuff like that happens every day in the insurance industry.
So sad.
It is sad because they just couldn't cut it. And that's where they're talking about like be a part of the 8%. Well, here's the thing. 7% of those 8 still only live paycheck to paycheck. What is the 1% doing? Let's focus on them. Like complexity already exists with scale. Let's make it as simple as we can. You don't need to add complexity to it. That's going to come from the scaling. The bigger it gets, it's going to generate its own problems. So that is the whole point of this course. I know the problems every life insurance agent's going to run into. I've already solved them. And the problems that come from solving those problems, guess what? Those are also solved for you. So you just spend the time investing in yourself and learning the stuff. You go through the course, you get your little certification, hang it up on the wall, and now you go make some money. Because I just showed you how to make money. Now you're going to come back and buy into Running Buddies Academy and get exclusive one-on-one coaching.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. That whole thing's a huge lead magnet, but it's bringing value. I'm solving problems. And that's the thing. They tell you to jab, 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 right hook. Well, if you just keep jabbing, they're going to lay down and I didn't have to exhaust any energy. Here's the thing, Johnny. What happens when you just keep giving to people? What do you feel like?
You feel good and it comes back 100-fold or 1,000-fold.
Yeah, but what happens if I just kept giving you stuff? What would you feel like
Like I need to give back.
Boom. I just keep giving stuff away. Someone's going to give me something back. Is that I'd say that's a pretty successful business structure.
When people are just coming to you to buy.
Yeah, because I've already made them money and they're not, well, this guy took me from this much to this much. Oh, he has this? Let me buy into this. I just feel the power of that. I spent a little over $70,000 in the last year investing into myself. Personal development conferences, books, writing my own book, whatever the case is. One-on-one calls with very high net worth people that I only got 15 minutes on the phone with because that's all I could afford. But they were like, where'd all this money go you made from life insurance? They're like, well, it's in here.
Yeah.
But now my stuff is exploding. They're like, we're not even going to get into that. So it's just stupid how much money you can make.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Like if you cannot make money right now, it's because you don't want to.
Yep.
I asked people, was money important to you? Well, no, I'm not really materialist. Well, that's the reason you're still broke.
It's not bad to want money. That's the
No,
thing, is that
money
you
is
can
energy.
use
It
money
all
to be able
depends
to
on the
help more
ecology.
people.
It all depends on ecology. What are you using it for? Well, Bill Gates is evil. I don't care what Bill Gates is doing. Whether his Roundup is affecting me or not in his glyphosate, he's donated more money than I ever could.
And you see Mark Cuban, he solved the pharmaceutical problem.
Yeah, he's selling like a
Pharmaceutical.
$9,000 drug or something for like $42. Like that's
Yep.
ridiculous. So next, like if you're stingy with $100, guess what? You're going to be stingy with $1 million.
And $1 billion.
And that's why you can't handle it. That's why you don't have that money now. They want, well,
It's
I
a
want a
mindset.
CEO position. Yeah, I want a CEO position. Okay, for what purpose?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you want power
It's all
because you don't
mindset.
have love. Okay.
It's all mindset. And that's the thing, is that we're raised to be able to learn that. Kids are so moldable. When we're younger, our minds are like a sponge. We're soaking in everything. And unfortunately, we're soaking in limiting beliefs. And that's what I've learned, is that over the past few months, I've had to unlearn so many limiting beliefs that I've had, that, like, dude, $1 million in a month, that's not crazy. It's not insane.
I know people who have gotten to that in like a year or two. It's stupid. How much money you can make in this industry is really the only limitation is the one you give it. I'll say that.
Yep. Yep.
So you've wrote a lot of business. What have been some other struggles that you've kind of gone through? Because you have not really gotten average results. You've gotten kind of outlier. You've kind of been an outlier in the industry. Obviously, you went on Cody Askins like the ultimate agent contest. You did a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
You've done quite a bit now, but what have been some of the bottlenecks or constraints kind of just in your journey throughout this industry?
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, you can write a ton of business, but then it's like, it's hard when you get hung up in underwriting, when you get hung up in this or that, and it's like my first application that I ever took, it was 2,400 APV, right? And I literally skipped the routing number and account number, and it, like, I accidentally, like, I did like direct to them instead of doing a bank draft. I did direct. And here's the thing, is that that policy never paid out.
Did you learn your lesson?
Oh, dude, I never doing that again, because I'm like, dude, this guy wanted to buy and he wanted it then. And he literally got instantly approved. And then they sent a check like 2 weeks later,
What is
or
this
sent the thing.
for?
And then when I called them and I was like, hey, you need to send in a check. And they're like, well, my bank got hacked, so I can't do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude.
I remember that conversation.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
do you know how many agents that I've brought in? They're like, yeah, I took the application. Okay, well, why is it not submitted? Like, how do you skip the signature? Like, you had one job. You see, where you had one job.
Yeah.
Like, how? Are you gonna
Oh
airmail
my
it?
God.
No. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely say, that's definitely a challenge that I've had, is being able to, like, write business, but then it's like getting hung up in underwriting, and
so
it's
get it
just like,
issued.
dude, these things,
Okay.
yeah. So then, like, my wife just actually came on, and she's been helping me out, like, literally every day. I got people to call because I got like 20,000 and they're ready to issue, waiting to issue, and I'm like, so it's well worth the investment.
Oh, absolutely. And what are some of the things this industry has been able to let you do just besides travel? Like, what has it done
Yeah,
for you personally, like on a mental level, or what has it done for you
yeah,
maybe financially? Like,
yeah. I mean,
what are the benefits?
yeah, I would definitely say the money aspect is huge. Being able to write a policy and get paid the next day. Never thought that that'd be able to happen, and be able to get that money quick. Write a policy for 1,000 and get paid like 900 the next day. Like, that's wild. Like, that doesn't happen. And so being able to literally, like, not have a lot of startup costs, being able to get paid right away, that's huge. But I think being able to, it's propelled me to new heights I didn't think I would be at. I have people DMing me every day, "Hey, I want to work with you." And I'm like, why? Like but it's because of a confidence that I've been able to build because of this business, because I know how to make money now. It's not a matter of if, but when. And it's like, I know I'm going to be a millionaire, whether that's next year or 2 years down the line, whatever it is, it's going to happen. But it's like, it's been able to build a confidence that it's like, dude, being able to be around these people like Cody Askins, Nitafan, Pete Fournier, like Roger Short, like all these people, like you and dude, like millionaires all around. It's like you literally get to talk to them, have access to them, like John Wetmore being able to say, how can I triple my business in the next 90 days and get poured into like that. That's this type of stuff that I'm talking about. Like when you get into a room with people where they're already where you're striving to be, building a massive team, building a huge business, and being able to literally sit there next to them face to face and ask like, hey, I struggle with this. How can I get to this level? And that's why I preach, get in the room. It doesn't matter if it's 10,000 or 10, like 1,000. It doesn't matter how much it costs. Get in the room with people, because you never know what can come out of that. You never know who they know, but two, if they want to help. That's what's awesome about this business is people want to help and people want to give and
because
pour
they
in,
know
people
what
wanna
it's
find the
like.
right one.
And that's where people are like, well, my family doesn't believe in me, because your family's never made that amount of money and they don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
And whether people want to admit it or not, your friends, your best friends that you're going out and drinking with and risking getting a DUI or running some kid over, like they don't really want to see you win. Not
Yeah.
at the expense of their happiness. Like people want to see you do good, but never better than them.
Yeah.
And that's the
Totally.
opposite of all these high level earners. They're like, dude, like you're a genius.
Yep.
Like I wish I would have had your person. And like half the time, like when I go to Cody's event, so many people are like, wow, how many people have come up to me after I've spoken? Like I'll send you some of those texts that I've gotten from people. Or like, dude, I am so impressed with how well you carry your, like, I wish I was like you at your age, or I wish I was doing what you're doing now.
Yep.
That would be that much farther. And that's why it is so important to only take advice from people who have what you want in life.
Yep.
Like I've had not the best relationships with some of the people above me, but also I didn't want to be where they were at in life. I didn't want to say,
Yep.
well, in a year I have this to look forward to. And that's not to name drop or pick on anybody, but they're just not my models. They're not for me.
Yep.
And
You
so
got to find those people who are where you want to be. And that's what's so big. People don't do that. And it's like, no, hey, like your friends and family love you, and that's awesome. But then they think out of goodwill and what they know what, like they're some of them are broke, and it's like they don't have the permission to be able to tell you if that's a good investment or not. Most people would say that investing 10,000 into my business from the start isn't in, like, that's not good. Like, dude, what are you doing?
yeah,
But it's like,
and that's where you have to be loyal to yourself first, because this was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, was just taking everything on at face value. I'd hear 12 different things and I would declare them absolutes because these people did. They're successful. It must be true, right? No, if the information is bad and it's coming from the top, that trickles down to me, and now I'm operating on something that's false.
yeah,
You have to have like an objective reality and actually look at things for what they are. And at the end of the day, I have to be loyal to myself first, compared to any IMO, any company, any upline. And I even hate the term upline.
yeah,
I
I
don't
hate it.
even call myself your upline. I call you my business partner, because that's how I'm going
Totally.
to treat you. I'm
Yeah.
not above my job. I still clean up trash. Like I clean my house. And that's where, like, that just baffles me.
Yep.
Like you have to be very careful of who you let in, because you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Because
Yeah.
what happens if you motivate an idiot? Now you have a motivated idiot going out there screwing things up. And
Yep.
so here's like, do you value your parents and your friends or your upline's opinion of you more than you value your opinion of yourself? Because if that's the case, you might want to flip those two around.
Yeah.
I
Big
care
time.
more about what I say about myself rather than anybody else. And And that's why I
Yeah,
was kind
because
of
the story
branching
that
off
we
into
tell
my own
ourselves
thing.
over and over and over and over again, that story will play out. So what story are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you're broke? I said that like a few weeks ago. I said, "Man, I'm broke." And I was like thinking about it. I was walking through the store because I told my wife that I was like, "I'm broke. We're broke." And here's the thing: is like God doesn't want us to declare bad things on our lives.
Wants
Like
us
the
to live a
most
blessed life.
powerful words are ourselves, our own words. And the thoughts that we have are like you have to speak life over yourself most importantly, because if not, that's the thing, is that it's not selfish, because what I do and the reason why I want to speak life over my own life is because I know the power of being able to do that in my own life. I'm able to impact thousands and millions in one day. It's not selfish because I do it out of a place of giving, because I know that I was meant to be able to help inspire someone. It goes back to the entrepreneur thing. Like people want to stay in that secure lifestyle, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
they want you to be humble, right? They want you to be humble. So humble. Well, guess what? It tells you to be humble in front of our good Lord. And until like he comes down here and smacks me in the face, like I'm throwing humbleness out the window. I'm my number one fan. Like people like, do you talk to yourself? Like
Yeah.
even like if a doctor asks me, like, no, because guess the moment I say yes, they're taking me off to those people in the damn white lab coats for talking to myself. And like, what I want to say is like, yeah, I talk to myself.
Yep.
Like, what? You don't? What are you telling yourself? Because words create
Yep.
worlds. Like
Yep.
victory and defeat both start up here. Our input equals your output. And if you want to stop getting what you're getting, you got to quit doing what you're doing. It's that simple. Like that's
Yep.
literally the definition of insanity, is doing the
Yep.
same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. And if you keep listening to the same person who's broke, you're going to get the same results as them.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but you have to define that line, because you could have a good relationship with them, but you just don't listen to them in that aspect. And
Yeah,
that's
you have to
the
draw the
boundary
line.
that I've had to.
If you don't set the standard for the relationship will set the standards that you live by. And here's the thing: silent expectations kill every relationship.
Communication
They
is
kill
so
every
important.
relationship. Like my first job, I was out there cleaning after a shift, which was literally stated in my job description. And the manager comes over. He's like, "Why are you cleaning the floor? Get back on the line if you're going to work overtime." Like, well, I thought this is what I was supposed to do. Like, no, we don't ever do that. And they wonder why the whole place is a mess. So I was like, oh,
Oh my
okay.
god.
Like, does that sound like good leadership? No.
No.
So that just blows my mind. But so my huskies are out here running them out. That's the beauty of working from home, dude. Dude, I love my dogs more than anything in this world. Like they are my best friends without a doubt. But dude, you started a new podcast. What is it exactly about? I know you want to
Yeah,
help people, but
it's called From Unknown to Unforgettable. And it's to be able to bring out that prey drive from people who.
All right, Coach Burt.
Yeah, I listen to Coach Bird a lot, but the thing took that from him, but the thing is that everybody wants to have that freedom. Everybody has that drive, but not everybody feels empowered to be able to do something about it. And my hope with the podcast is to be able to inspire young entrepreneurs that if you put your head down and work, and you block out the noise, and you really go after what you want to do, you can live your dreams. You really can. It's crazy and it sounds crazy, but seriously, it's not. I flew on a private jet for the first time. That was nuts. But it's because I had the guts to be able to put myself out there on social media, talk to everybody I knew, blast Cody's Instagram over and over and over again, and like literally just get 2 sponsors for the show. Like, come on now. When you see a life-changing opportunity, what are you going to do? Are you going to go after it like it's a life-changing opportunity or not? And that's what
So
I've seen. Like, I've literally built so many connections. I have so many friends in this space now that I want to be able to create a platform to be able to bring all these people the wealth of knowledge that these people have together, to be able to provide value to people who don't feel empowered yet.
So what I'm hearing you saying is, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, go take it.
Boom.
But you spoke about noise a while ago, and I hear noise all the time. Like I hear the word value, add more value, right? Well, one, I actually have a value equation. So go to the free training, get that. It's a free course. I'll put the website and everything below in the description. It's free life insurance training, because all these absolutes, like here's the thing, you hear 12 different things from 12 different people on a call, and you try to implement it all, and probably only one or two of them matter. So everyone's saying that frogs don't jump, right? These frogs don't jump. I'm in a room full of frogs and they don't jump. So we all leave the room convinced that what, Johnny?
That they don't jump.
Yeah, the frogs don't jump, right? Well, no, I stay after class a little bit and I look at the table and I notice that all their legs are cut off. So is it that the frogs don't jump, or are their legs cut off?
Their legs are cut off.
So that's the thing. People give out all these ultimatums on training calls like, you have to do this my way. No, I don't. Like here's what's actually happening. Here's how you solve a problem. Let's not add complexity to scale, because that already exists. We don't want to create more complexity. Like the best players never not do the fundamentals.
Yep.
They just master the basics and they keep doing it over and over, more simplistic.
Totally.
So what is some of this noise that you talk about? What does that look like to you?
It's people's opinions. People will always want to impose their opinions, but Thinking and Grow Rich talks about that's the cheapest commodity on earth. Like, dude, it doesn't matter. People's opinions don't matter. Like, they could stay broke. That is cool. Nothing against them. Like, seriously, honestly, like it doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's like, why are you trying to take time out of your day to be able to bring me down? Like, it's humorous and it's sad. It genuinely makes me sad, because someone's got to be in a bad place to really think that that's going to make them happy. And it's genuinely sad. But you got to tune out that noise. You got to tune out the limiting beliefs that people will try to impose. And it's hard, because I'm really training my mindset to be bulletproof right now, and really fixing my eyes and heart and subconscious mind, training it to get the things that I want. But it's hard when I hear people say, I can't do this. Oh, $50,000. Like, that's so much money. Like, but it's like, it's like these limiting beliefs like are everywhere. And so if you're listening to this, like, be aware of what you're saying, what you're thinking, and what other people are saying about you. Because do you want to tell the world who you are, or do you want the world to tell you who you are? I stole that from you.
You stole that from me? Well, how it goes is you can tell the world who you are, or you can let the world tell the world who you are. And so here's why I will never listen to someone explain why they can't do something, because they might influence me. I don't hang out with the people who say, yeah, but, or even like this, but. No. If you're a but person, you just discredited everything that you just gave like credence to, and you replaced it with this. Like, yeah, I really like the girl, but okay, you just threw away all that. So I don't hang out with those people.
Nope.
Because you are who you hang out with. We're not going to get back into that. That just blows my mind. People hang out with 5 alcoholics and wonder why they start drinking.
Seriously. And that's like why we talk like literally multiple times a day, because you got to continue to stay by the fire. You got to stay like hungry. Like
because I've got you convicted.
Huh?
I've got you convicted.
Yeah.
Like, you love what you do. And
Dude,
you've got the world at your fingertips, dude. But just to close this down, man, if you could give advice to new life insurance agents, what would that be? What do you think really is most important for them to focus on or do?
Yeah, I would say it's so easy to get caught up in Medicare, health, like annuities, like all these different things. It's so easy. I got caught up in that. And the word from the wise, I wouldn't consider myself wise yet. I'm growing there, but it's so easy to just get caught up in hearing the one guy that's killing it in that space or whatever, and how much money there is. Like there's all that, there's shining object syndrome. And it's so easy to get it, especially when you enter into this space. It's like, oh, I want to create all this passive income, so I'm going to go after all these opportunities.
Yeah, 7 income streams, right? That's what we hear. Create 7 income
Oh
streams.
my
Guess what, guys?
gosh. Don't
Those
even get
rich
me
people
started
started
about
off
that.
with one thing. They got really good at one thing, solving one problem, and they used that
Yep.
money to buy other income aspects.
Exactly. And so I would say focus on one product, focus on one thing, and master that before you move on. Because if you're not good at that, why do you think you're going to be good at this other thing? It's literally you're going to be able to see more of a return on investment if you go and pour yourself into learning how to sell life insurance. You do that and you do that well, and then you diversify into other things. But you have to master one thing and be able to get really good at that one thing. And that's what I would say is, one, being able to just put the blinders on and listen to your mentor. That's why it's so important to find a good mentor. And the second thing that I would say is that this is a vehicle. This is a vehicle to get where you want to go. You have to embrace the learning curve. The learning curve is there. Embrace it. If people are saying make $300 a week, I think that's way too like minimum. That's minimum. Like that's like, if you're like, this is a hobby for you. If you're really, if this, like, seriously, people are hobbyists. There's hobbyists. There's people who treat this as a job, and there's people that are like, see this as a mission. And if you really can see the opportunity, see that this is a $1 trillion industry, that all the killers that you see, you can literally sit at the same table as them because there's enough seats. Okay. That once you realize that literally, like, the world is at your fingertips. You can do what you want. This industry can provide the financial freedom, the time freedom, the opportunity not having to ask somebody to take off work so that I could go to my son's game. Like, what? So I would say embrace the learning curve and minimum 1,000 dials a week to start.
Okay, stepping on some people's toes. Okay, hot shot.
Well,
so,
I do know
what it takes.
Doing.
And I did it. But I just bought better leads, so I didn't have to do that many dials. So you can let your money work for you. You can let your activity work for you.
Dude, I did that too.
How you want to pay for it. My time's worth more. I'd rather give away the money. So what Johnny said was one offer, one avatar, one channel. As far as a marketing standpoint, focus on one thing, get really good at solving that problem, and you'll never have to worry about money again. So, Johnny, where can these people follow you at, dude?
Yep. Follow me on Instagram, Johnny, JOHNNY, Nitafan. You see it right there, NITAFAN 1, as well as follow me on TikTok, Johnny Nitafan. And I'll be posting my first podcast coming up. I'm really excited. Definitely tune into that. We got some heavy hitters. Insurance industry. We got more people than just the insurance industry. We got people killing it in the healthcare space. We just got entrepreneurs that are really chasing their dreams. So follow me on there. You feel free to call me or text me 505-238-4062. And here's the thing is that the reason I do that every podcast now is because you were the only one that did that.
Correct.
And that stuck out to me because I was like, dude, this guy doesn't think that. Like, literally, I reached out to somebody and I was like, how can I reach you? He's like, admin.
Now I've had some weird phone calls. I'll say that.
Oh my gosh. They're like,
hey, you sell feed pick? No, we're not going down this road.
No. But I asked somebody like how I could get in contact, and they said, email me at admin@insurance.com. And I'm like,
yeah, no, I want to talk to my people exclusively because I want to make sure I know who exactly I'm talking to. So,
yep. Exactly.
Johnny, thanks for coming on here, man. Can't wait to be on yours.
Appreciate you, man.
Let's keep growing.
Sir.
All right. See you, buddy.
See ya.
And if you guys like this episode, make sure to drop your comment about your favorite part. Let me know some insights on this. But until next time, stay tuned. See you guys.